Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and figured I'd just sort of jam with you a little bit live recording on some of the trailers that have come out of SDCC over the weekend, most notably today, which, as of the time of this recording, is Saturday, I guess day 2, technically speaking, of SDCC, and my power was off all frickin' day. It got knocked out about 10:30 a.m. And was off until about 7:30, almost 8 o'clock at night. So I missed all of this stuff until I came back online later. And it was like one after the other trailers and various things that I had interest in. Most notably, to start us off, was Ready Player One. Here's something I know nothing about at all. With the exception of the fact that I've seen a lot of people talking about they read it and they loved it. I wasn't even sure if it was a book. I was only half sure when watching the trailer for it. And but a lot of people seem to be very resounding about, oh, there's a movie going to be made about this. And I knew nothing about it. Judging by the title, I figured there was some kind of gaming element involved, but I didn't know how far down the rabbit hole that went. And the trailer is spectacular. I mean, it reminded me of like, sort of Tron Legacy meets Wreck-It Ralph, kind of, with all of the 80s references and everything like that, only it's somebody jacking in and going in to this, sort of video game, virtual reality world. And you see Iron Giant at the very beginning, and I was like, what? Wait a minute, what? What's he doing in there? I haven't even seen that film, actually. I know a lot of people love it. It's one that I've been saving to get to eventually someday, Iron Giant. And but I immediately noted he was in there. At one point, you see what I believe is Freddy Krueger lunging at a dude with like a bazooka. You see what I think is the motorcycle from the anime film Akira. I could be wrong, during a chase, sort of a race sequence, if you will, which looked all kinds of gangbusters. And then, of course, the DeLorean time machine from Back to the Future. And I'm just all kinds of stoked. Now, the one thing that was really interesting to me, I was trying to wrap my mind around the whole time, was that musical melody you hear at the start and at the finish when the letters making up the title, Ready Player One, are illuminated, and I couldn't place it. I was like, I know this from somewhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is it not part of the score from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory? Come with me and you'll be in a world of your imagination. That's what it sounded like. The opening keys to that, the opening tones. And I just got goosebumps. It's one of my all-time favorite movies, one of my all-time favorite Gene Wilder performances, and being very much set within like the 80s, the time of my youth and everything. I'm hoping we get a lot of different things like Optimus Prime and Thundercats references and all this kind of stuff. I have no idea. I have no idea if that's going to happen at all. But I knew nothing about this, and suddenly it's like one of the things I'm the most anticipating for 2018 now. There was also a trailer for Justice League, and it was bombastic and all kinds of awesome sauce. For somebody like me who loves the DC cinematic universe, those films, Man of Steel, as you can see back here, Suicide Squad, Harley, on my door, which is shut at the moment. On the outside of it is Batman v Superman, Ultimate Cut rules, that kind of thing. And so I was really looking forward to this. I loved Wonder Woman. I finally got to see Wonder Woman, and it was all kinds of awesome as well. And so seeing this trailer sort of, being ushered into it by Wonder Woman and seeing all the team coming together, much more looking like they've been together for a while, getting sort of past that moment where Batman's going and hunting them all down and trying to get them all together. It's much more, they're like a more fluid unit in this sort of sneak peek teaser, if you will. And I loved it. Aquaman looking all kinds of badass, riding whatever those creatures are, like through buildings and everything, and going woohoo, all this kind of stuff. He looks like he's ready for action. He's also, the doomsayer of the group. He's like, I think we're all gonna die. Just like laughing my ass off. Flash, Ezra Miller's Flash. I've never seen this cat act, at all. I haven't seen any of the work he's done, before this. And he was like stealing the show with some of the quips. He's like, I've never gone to battle before. I just run up to people, push them, and run away. And then that crap at the end with, Commissioner Gordon on the roof, and everybody is snuck off, and he's just like the last man standing. He's like, wow, they all just kind of disappeared, don't they? Reminds me very much of Kingdom Come. There's this great moment where Superman has gone into the Bat Cave to talk to Bruce Wayne, who's in this, like, sort of, I don't know what you call it, exoskeleton, I guess you could say. And Superman sneaks off. Batman is usually the cat who does that. You know, he'll meet somebody and then he'll sneak off, and he's gone by the time you turn your head, and you hadn't heard a sound, a peep of him leaving. And so Bruce Wayne turns around, Superman's gone, he's like, so that's what it feels like. It reminded me of that. Because here is Flash, and he's the last guy there. He's like, oh, they're pretty rude. They just leave. You're still talking. And then he takes off, It was pretty hilarious. It looks all kinds of badass. Now, I believe the villain is Steppenwolf. The boom tube opens on Themyscira, which blew my mind. I like drawing back off of Wonder Woman and bringing it back there, just centering it. Love that. Love that we're going to see more of the Amazons and everything. And it looks gangbusters, man. It looks all kinds of awesome. Following on from there, I saw a brief sort of blooper reel from the first season of Riverdale. I've been loving Riverdale. I did a video about it after the season wrapped, and seeing all the bloopers got me cracking up. But then there's also an added sort of first look glimpse of season 2, picking up where they left off with Archie's father having been shot by a guy who went in to rob Pop Tate's diner, and it gave me goosebumps. It brought me right to that moment again at the end of the finale where that happened, where he was shot, and I was just like, damn it, man, that really upset me. The one good, honest, tried and true guy in all of Riverdale, and he's the one who gets shot. You better damn well survive it, is all I'm going to say. But I loved getting that look at what's up and coming for Riverdale. Love the cast, love the crazy hijinks and drama, the mystery and everything, all of that flair. You got Veronica's father, Hiram Lodge, coming back out of prison now. He wasn't in season 1, but he's going to be in season 2. And it looks like, death, as Pop Tate says in this first look at season 2, death is coming a-calling on Riverdale. And I couldn't be more stoked. Now, the last trailer I want to talk about is actually, I guess, the official second trailer, kind of, or at least the SDCC teaser trailer for Star Trek Discovery. And I'll tell you, I'm still mixed emotions. They had a contemporary song again. I'd love to change the world. I love the classic song. I didn't mind this version, but it just, like that rock vibe, it's like, it still always gives me mixed emotions when they contemporize music alongside Star Trek. I had the same problem with Star Trek Beyond when they first hit you up with the Beastie Boys song that went back to 2009, and then they released an alternate trailer with better music, I thought, and more engaging aspects of the story and everything. And so the story of this, what I'm really, I'll tell you, brass tacks, what I'm really left thinking after watching this is no wonder they went after Axanar, because Axanar's basically was supposed to be telling that story of that era before Captain Kirk, where there was a war with the Klingons, and that seems to be very much the case with this series. That's going to be the time and place setting. That's going to be the story focus, and it seems like the sort of main character who is not a captain but a commander, and she's going to be shifting between the two ships that are primarily in focus in the show, the Shenzhou and then the Discovery, I guess presumably. She's going to be one of the inadvertent instigators of war with the Klingon Empire, or what passes for Klingons in this iteration of Star Trek. They look very kind of Klingon, but at the same time kind of sort of not. A lot of people are up in arms about that. And I don't know, honestly, how I feel about it. Kind of mixed emotions overall about the trailer. I want to be excited. I'm tentatively, curiously excited, but there's just so much of it that's going to have to win me over, from the look and the feel and the vibe and what exactly they're going for. I don't know. I don't know. For all intents and purposes, it's supposed to be Sarek, who is the Vulcan, the father of Spock, who's interacting with this woman, and she's on this, I guess, journey to find herself and find her place in Starfleet or whatever this is, and the Discovery is going to be a new way to fly, as the captain says. in this trailer and such. And I don't know, man. I'm going to have to really just wait and see. I'm going to have to wait and see and watch it and see what it's like before I can really wrap my mind around it. The trailers, I don't think the trailers are really doing it justice. If there is any justice to be made out of it. And it's going to be really a thing I'm going to have to reserve judgment, because the trailers so far, it's like when they first hit me, first initially feeling negative emotions and mixed emotions. And then as I watch them a little more and I wrap my mind around it and I sort of apply my thought processes over it and dwell on it a little bit, I start to come around to certain aspects, but then there's still things that are hanging in the balance that I'm not sure on. And this is another perfect example of that. I watched this trailer for Star Trek Discovery and I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if I'm going to like this, but I'm going to reserve judgment and check it out. And while I did say that was the last thing I was going to talk about, there was actually a brief follow-up trailer for the Orville, the Seth MacFarlane series. And I loved the first show trailer. This was just very, very much shorter, condensed down, and it looked more action-y, and the humor wasn't as laugh out loud as the proper trailer, the one that came out before, for me at least. People have been saying, oh, you know, the Orville is going to be the actual Star Trek series for 2017. And if I had to go based on this short SDCC teaser, I would disagree with that. Going back to the first trailer, I'd be like, maybe it will be. Maybe it'll be the one that gets all the Star Trek traffic and viewership over Discovery. But I think even with the mixed emotions I had about the Discovery trailer for SDCC, that little snippet of Orville was like, nah, Discovery's going to take the cake here as far as the viewership goes. There's going to be a lot of curious people coming out of the woodwork wanting to see this. Trekkies, Trekkers alike, it's the same old story, man. Every time a new show comes along, when the Next Generation came along, oh, it wasn't your father's Star Trek. Oh, it wasn't proper Star Trek. DS9 came along. Oh, it's too dark. It's too militaristic. It's not that prosperous vision of the future Gene Roddenberry had. It's not real, genuine Star Trek. Same thing with Voyager, although Voyager actually had sort of the antithesis, where the primary complaint was it's everything we've seen before, you know, driven into the ground. It's too much Star Trek. Same thing with Enterprise. And each of these subsequent series have gained love within the fandom. It's the same case for Discovery, I guarantee it, you know, and even if I'm wrong, what does it matter? You still got all of that old Star Trek to fall back on. Fan series like Star Trek Continues, my utmost favorite. And so it's like, who cares if it sucks? But at least give it a chance. Go in like an explorer, test it out, test the waters, see if you like it, and we'll see where it goes. That's the best you can really hope for, the best you can ask. And so that's pretty much all the trailers coming out of SDCC I wanted to chat about with you guys. Talking briefly about my reactions and thoughts on all of them. For the most part, they were all pretty much stellar. Ready Player One, as I say. And I think Discovery is the only one that kind of left me like, reserving judgment. But Justice League was, you know, bombastic and all kinds of awesome. The Riverdale, you know, sneak peek for season 2. And all that good stuff, man. I mean, it's the good definitely outweighs the bad. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen any of these trailers, if you care about any of these trailers, what you yourself thought of all of them. I think, as I say, the excitement is very much outweighing any negative reaction or mixed emotions or anything like that. Even with Discovery, I'm still tentatively excited. I still want to check it out. But most of these trailers just kicked all kinds of ass and made me that much more palpably ready. My body is ready. I want to see these flicks and such. And in the case of Riverdale, this show when it comes back. And so let me know your thoughts. Anything else from SDCC that you enjoyed? You know, frankly, if I haven't talked about it, it's probably not something I'm that into or I didn't know about, you know, that came out. But yeah, love having that conversation. Anything goes. Love it or hate it. Let me know your thoughts. And that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.